everyone, welcome back to Voidheart Studios, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Dart Zone, or Adventure Force, Boxer Pro. The Boxer Pro was released in 2025 as part of the Adventure Force Tactical Strike series, and yes, this blaster was made by Dart Zone. They just produce Adventure Force blasters as Walmart exclusives. This blaster is a 50-round, chain-fed, fully automatic, half-length LMG. It's really dope. Let's get into the overview. Starting up at the front, we have a muzzle. No end strike barrel lug or Dart Zone friction muzzle or anything to be seen. It's just the muzzle. But underneath the muzzle is where you get the bipod. And this is just a pretty standard little flip-out bipod. And yeah, it rests really nicely. I won't be resting it today, but it does rest really nicely. And this rear section of the rail is actually thinner back here, and since it's got a stopper up here, that's how you take the bipod off. So you can remove the bipod if you want to attach like a foregrip or something to it. I don't know. But the bipod just goes on like so, and flips back and clips into the blaster, so you can use it as a sort of front handguard. Up at the top here is the front iron sight, which is another removable rail attachment on this tiny little section of Picatinny rail. How cute. How cute. We also have another Picatinny tactical rail up here. And let's move back. Back here you have the belt feeding area. So you open up this door, you take your chain link, and you place it in here. That's how you load the blaster. Below that is the locking mechanism for the box. To take off the box, you press this latch, and you pull it off. The box will hold one 50-round chain, and you literally just slide it. You just drop it in there, and it'll go. You may want to tilt it or something to get it to go all the way through. But yeah, it can be done like that. This chain can be connected to other Boxer Pro chains. They sell them separately on dartzoneblasters.com. To make longer chains, but you need a bigger box. It can also be connected to itself to make an infinity chain if you're into that sort of thing. But to reattach the ammo box, you just you slide it back on until it clicks, and then you deposit your chain into the feeding area and close the door. Going to the back here, we have another Picatinny tactical rail with the rear iron sight, and this stays on really well, but it's also a flip-up lob sight, so you can use it to calculate for angle, whatever that does for you. Moving to the back, before we get to the trigger mechanism, you have a collapsible stock. To collapse it, you press this button here and push it in. Push it in, and now you have no stock. Then you push it in and pull out, and it'll extend. It has about 6 different places where it actually locks, so that's pretty cool. On the side here, you have the battery tray. This takes 8 AA batteries, but you can also take out the battery tray and wire up any XT30 rechargeable battery pack, including the battery pack for the Omnia Pro. So yeah, pretty cool. Down here we have the trigger area. This is the safety. When it is switched to the back, you cannot rev and you cannot fire. Switch to the front and you can start firing. And yeah, this thing's got a mean fire rate. It advertises 6 rounds per second, but I think it's closer to 8. When I chronographed it, I got about 7.6 rounds per second. So I don't know if I just got a really good model, got it running on really good double A's or what, but I'm getting a nice and spicy fire rate. So yeah, the grip, it's pretty much in line with other Dart Zone grips. It's comfortable even on my big gorilla hands. And it also does have a sling mount down here, though it's a very awkward and tiny one. So if you're gonna run a sling on this, you probably just want to either get a big carabiner and attach your sling to the stock, or get Picatinny sling mounts. They're like $15 for a 2-pack. They're not expensive at all. And also, notes on this stock. This stock looks really flimsy, but it's actually really rigid. This stock will take some force, and I'm pushing back on the blaster pretty hard, and it's not collapsing and it's not flexing. So this is a really solid stock. These little plastic bars here are really thick, and they're really solid. They've got screws in them and everything. So yeah, stock is really good. I think I've covered everything I can really say in terms of overview-wise for this blaster. So now let's take it outside and fire it. Alright, we are out on the range with what little daylight I have left. Let's plink with the Boxer Pro. Starting off, I'm going to fire a chain of Adventure Force Dart Zone Ember darts, which are the darts that it came with. And I'm going to try to burst fire. I'm going to do, like, try to control my fire rate, semi-auto, small bursts. So yeah, let us begin. Alright, I have reloaded off camera, so you don't have to watch me reload 50 rounds worth of half darts into a chain. But I've got now Nerf Pro darts, and I'm out of daylight. This cursed day star has fully set, so I shall dump 50 rounds, chained up. And it fed beautifully. Alright. They all went over the target. I did not have my aim properly dialed in, nor was I really using the rear sight at all, but that is a problem for another day's Void Heart. So, yeah, I am going to clean up my mess, and then we shall go inside and pontificate. Alright, I am back inside, and it is now time to pontificate about the Boxer, starting off with chronograph results. I ran this blaster over my chronograph, and every shot was in the low 160s. I think I had 1 or 2 rounds out of the 10 that I did that were like 158, 159, but it was all like low 160s, which is nicely consistent. And yeah, this is a very consistent blaster. This is a very reliable blaster. It has a reliably high rate of fire. And yeah, 160s and still maintaining a good rate of fire off of double A's is crazy. Speaking of, yeah, this blaster is full auto only. This is not select fire like the Omnia or the Mark III or the Primus. This is full auto only. The switch here is safe and fire, that's it. One of them turns it off, one of them is the happy button. So, yeah. Secondly, if this wasn't obvious, this is a Pro V-twin. This uses the same style of wheel pusher and cutout chain as the V-twin, but instead, you know, it's resized for half darts. And speaking of size, it's pretty small. It's smaller than one would think for something LMG platform, but it's honestly not a bad thing. Flywheelers are kind of in the realm where they don't have to be big. You know, Springers, you want them, you know, they have the long barrels and all that, and, you know, my Harrier here has a 370 millimeter barrel. That's like 15 inches, and yeah, it's pretty long. And I mean, you compare that to the Boxer here, it's a, if I can get it in frame here, compare that to the Boxer, it's a fair bit longer. The Boxer is big for, you know, a pro flywheeler, because most of them try to keep it about Strife size, you know, like the Maxim and the Omnia and all of those. But it definitely does have that LMG feel of, you know, full auto with the high capacity chain. And, yeah. I feel like this is definitely a decent blaster in terms of that. My personal opinion, oh, I enjoy the absolute hell out of this. The first time I opened this up and I filled up the chain and I went out and I fired it down the hallway to show my family, oh man, it was so satisfying to just send it. And yeah, this is just a really nice blaster, and this bipod is really versatile. You can use it as a vertical foregrip, you could use it as an offset foregrip. I like using it as an offset foregrip. Of course, you can open it up and use it as a bipod, and use one of the legs as an offset foregrip. Or you can just take it off and not use it at all. Does it make a good handguard? It's not the best handguard, but it's not the worst handguard. That's really it. The grip is a little strange. The grip is a little strange, but it's not horrible. The trigger feels good. The rev switch feels good. They, you know, finally went back to doing normal rev switches instead of, you know, whatever the weird backstrap beaver tail ones were on the Venom and the Maxim. And yeah, I think this is definitely new peak Dart Zone flywheeler. And yes, Dart Zone does sell these chains on their website, dartzoneblasters.com. And again, they are like seamlessly, they are out of the box designed to be linked to each other. This front round here, this first round, which also when you get it, it has a little cap that makes it a dummy round. You can get rid of that and just make this a 51 round chain, which I did. It has a little clip here, which is meant to clip into the pin on the last round of another chain, which also means you can clip them together and make it an infinity chain. And it is the peak of fashion. But when you're not wearing it as a chain, you can put it, where's the, there's the link. You can just, you know, put it in your blaster as an infinity chain or unhook it. You can also make the chain longer, because this thing will take long chains, and this thing will like them. There are box mods for it. So people have made 3D printed ammo boxes for it. Xbox Games has one. One for 150 rounds and one for 300 rounds. Dead Man's Foam also has files for his Doom box mod, which I think, if I recall correctly, holds 200. But this box here, the box it came with, only holds the 50. But honestly, 50 is really quite enough. Yeah, this box holds 50 quite nicely. And yeah, it's a good box. Dart Zone does not sell the boxes separately. On their website, they just sell the chains, which I think kind of sucks, because, like, to get the chain and 50 nitro shot darts, which they do give nitro shot darts with the chain. There we go. To get the chain and 50 nitro shot darts, it's like $15. They could have very easily gotten away with charging like $20 to add the box, and I don't think people would have been upset. Or just made it like an add-on, like you pay, you know, $3, $4, $5 more and you get the box. Because I feel like it would be more, you know, it would be a lot quicker to just like take off the box and then have boxes, you know, on you in like dump pouches or strapped to your waist or whatever, and then just bring another box up, strap it in or snap it in, put the round here, and then round and get it stick in there, and then close it. But that's what, you know, the 3D printed kits are for. And I think someone is also making 3D printed chains for the Boxer that, I think there's one that's, you know, again, a full solid chain, and there's also one that disintegrates every 10 rounds, so it just drops 10 round sections. But, yeah. Aside from the mods that are already out for this thing, despite it, like, releasing maybe 2 weeks ago, it's a really good blaster, and it's definitely worth the $60 you would pay for it. And yeah, and hell, you don't even have to spend the extra money on batteries if you already have the Omnia or the Venom, because it will take their batteries with a slight decrease in FPS and fire rate, because this thing has 12 volts running through it with the batteries, but these battery packs are 7.4 volt. So you do have less voltage, which does mean less power and lower fire rate, but I think it's worth it for having a rechargeable pack. I threw AA's in there because I had AA's laying around, and it works really well on both. So yeah, that's really everything I have left to say about the Boxer Pro. I will leave a buy link in the description for the Boxer Pro, as well as the extra chains, if you do so choose to purchase them. Of course, this is a Walmart exclusive blaster, so it's going to be walmart.com to buy it. But for the chains, they are dartzoneblasters.com. And if you did enjoy this video, then please do leave a like and subscribe. Comment your favorite thing about the Boxer Pro, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye!